Humans have long pondered what happens after death. Whether it's floating through clouds, reincarnating as a squirrel, or simply being at one with the universe, every culture seems to have its own take. Let's dive into some of the most intriguing and sometimes mind-bending theories about the fate of your soul after that final curtain call. And who knows? You might just find your new favorite afterlife. The eternal snooze button, nihilism. In nihilism, death marks the end of all consciousness and existence, a perspective largely held by materialists and atheists. This belief, heavily influenced by the works of Friedrich Nietzsche and other existential philosophers, suggests that there is no afterlife, soul, or continuation of being. Once the body dies, so too does the person's identity, memories, and all cognitive functions. Many nihilists argue that life has no inherent meaning and that humans must create meaning for themselves during their lifetime. With no belief in a higher power or afterlife, this philosophy challenges people to focus on the present and find fulfillment while they are still alive. Recycling souls, reincarnation. Reincarnation, a core belief in religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, suggests that the soul is reborn in another body after death, based on the karma actions accumulated during one's lifetime. This belief system views death as part of an endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, known as samsara. Depending on your actions, you may reincarnate as a human, animal, or even a supernatural being. Hindus believe that the ultimate goal is to break free from this cycle by attaining moksha, or liberation, through spiritual knowledge and righteous living. Buddhists, meanwhile, strive for nirvana, a state of enlightenment that ends the cycle of suffering and rebirth. This perspective offers hope that death is not an end but a transition, with a possibility for growth and transformation. The Cosmic Subway, Bardo, Tibetan Buddhism. In Tibetan Buddhism, the journey of the soul doesn't end at death but continues through the Bardo, a transitional state between death and rebirth. This state lasts for 49 days, during which the soul experiences a series of visions and encounters which are influenced by their previous life's karma. Depending on how they respond, souls may achieve enlightenment or be reborn into another life. The Tibetan Book of the Dead offers guidance for navigating this phase, helping individuals escape the cycle of rebirth or find a better reincarnation. Bardo is viewed as both a time of potential spiritual awakening and a critical phase where souls face the consequences of their actions. Hello, Spirit World, Spiritualism. Spiritualism is a belief system that emerged in the 19th century and posits that after death, the soul transitions into a spirit world. There, souls continue to exist, communicate with the living, and sometimes guide or influence them. Spiritualists believe that the spirit world exists on a different plane of reality, where souls continue their journey of evolution. Mediums who claim to communicate with the deceased play an essential role in this belief system, offering messages from loved ones who have passed on. Although spiritualism is often associated with supernatural phenomena, it has deep cultural roots in practices like ancestor worship, found in African and Chinese traditions. In modern times, this belief has evolved with the advent of ghost hunting shows and paranormal investigations. The quantum leap, consciousness energy theory. The OR theory, developed by Sir Roger Penrose and Dr. Stuart Hamroff, suggests that consciousness is stored as quantum information within structures called microtubules in the brain. When the body dies, the quantum information doesn't vanish, but is instead released into the universe. This theory builds on the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So, when the brain ceases to function, the energy of your consciousness may continue in another form, possibly as part of the cosmos itself. While controversial in scientific circles, this idea has gained attention as a way to merge quantum physics with theories about the soul. Supporters argue that this could explain near-death experiences, where people report feelings of floating or seeing light. Welcome to the simulation, Matrix style. Inspired by movies like The Matrix, the simulation theory posits that our reality, including life and death, might be part of an advanced computer simulation. If true, our experiences, including consciousness and death, are simply the result of code running in a massive simulation. According to figures like Elon Musk, it's statistically more likely that we live in a simulated reality than in an organic one. Upon death, the program might reset, recycle, or store consciousness elsewhere, depending on how the simulation is designed. While this theory is speculative, It raises fascinating questions about the nature of existence and what might happen when the simulation ends. So, is death just the ultimate software reboot? Time or code will tell. Cosmic déjà vu, eternal recurrence. The idea of eternal recurrence, most famously developed by Friedrich Nietzsche, suggests that everything in the universe, including our lives, repeats infinitely. After death, you would be reborn, living the exact same life over and over again, making the same decisions and experiencing the same events eternally. Nietzsche introduced this concept as a thought experiment to encourage people to live authentically, knowing that they might have to relive their lives in an endless loop. This theory raises the stakes of daily choices and actions, asking people to embrace and love their fate. Amor fati. While this concept contradicts current scientific understanding of time, it continues to fascinate both philosophers and dreamers. Judgment Day, Abrahamic religions. In the Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, death is not the end but a prelude to Judgment Day. After death, souls are judged based on their deeds, and their eternal fate is decided: heaven, hell, or, in some interpretations, purgatory. Christianity teaches that believers in Jesus Christ will attain eternal life in heaven, while sinners face eternal damnation. Islam shares a similar view, where good deeds outweighing bad leads to paradise, while the reverse leads to hell. In Judaism, perspectives vary, but there is a belief in the resurrection of the dead and a divine reckoning. These religious frameworks emphasize moral living and the consequences of one's actions in the afterlife. Merging with the universe, pantheism. Pantheism presents the divine as being identical with the universe, meaning that everything, including us, is part of this larger cosmic entity. Upon death, rather than experiencing an individual afterlife or retaining personal identity, the soul is believed to merge with the universe's energy. This idea dissolves the boundaries between the self and the cosmos, viewing death as a return to the source from which all life originates. Baruch Spinoza, a significant figure in pantheism, proposed that God and the universe are one, suggesting that individual souls are simply manifestations of this singular divine reality. The concept aligns with the conservation of energy in science, which states that energy is neither created nor destroyed but only transformed. After death, the energy that constitutes consciousness could, according to this theory, disperse and rejoin the vast, interconnected web of the cosmos. This view offers a spiritual yet naturalistic understanding of death, framing it as a return to the greater whole, where one's essence becomes part of everything that exists. Aztec adventures into the afterlife pyramid. The Aztecs had one of the most distinctive views of the afterlife, believing that the nature of one's death determined their spiritual fate. Warriors who died heroically in battle and women who perished during childbirth were considered highly honored and believed to transform into hummingbirds. These souls would accompany the sun on its journey through the sky, symbolizing their connection to life's vital forces. Those who died from natural causes faced a more challenging afterlife in Mictlan, a shadowy underworld where the journey took 4 years and involved passing through 9 levels of trials. At the end of this perilous journey, the soul would finally rest in peace. Meanwhile, individuals who died from drowning, lightning strikes, or certain illnesses were thought to go to Talokan, a paradise ruled by the rain god Tlaloc, filled with eternal spring and abundance. This rich, symbolic view of the afterlife highlighted the cyclical nature of existence in Aztec belief, where life, death, and rebirth were intertwined in a cosmic balance. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into afterlife theories from around the world. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more intriguing topics like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking content. Let us know in the comments what theory you found most interesting, and we'll see you in the next video.